Hey guys, Ron here with Rising Sun Properties. I just want to say thank you, first of all, for everybody supporting the channel. I'm getting a lot of great feedback. You guys are getting good information and insight on properties and the purchasing process here in Japan. So thank you so much for supporting. Like and subscribe. This next property is in Nishinomiya, which is outside of Kobe a little bit, and it's 22.8 million, so a little bit outside of what most akiya buyers would be looking at. And it's a lot of home. It's about 200 square meters and just a beautiful, beautiful home, especially for the price. It is still on the market as of this video being released. And as I always state, I know people have their budgets and want to go low, and a lot of people start out looking at properties wanting to buy something 5-7 million and then do renovations. If you can stretch your budget initially and go 15, even the 20 million mark seems to be kind of the really sweet spot to get a really nice home. I always recommend it. However, we work with everybody and their particular budgets and the criteria you're looking for, but always just please keep that in mind. So here is the tour, and please enjoy because it is a beautiful home. And what Kobe trip wouldn't be complete without some Kobe beef? So thank you so much to my client who took me out to dinner that night. It was excellent and really appreciated. Here is the neighborhood. It's tucked back a little bit away from the city. It's a quiet neighborhood and a really great place for a home, especially if you have a family and want to be out of the city a little bit. There are two garage parking spots on the garage there. We were unable to get into there, but it looks like there would be plenty of room. Here is a quick look at the outside of the home. As I said, it's very large and beautiful and ready to live in. So the tour was great, and I really enjoy showing these kind of properties. This is in Nishinomiya. It's 22.8 million yen, 155k USD, 5 LDKs, built in 1998, 200 square meter building, and 275 total with the yard. All of the floors and basically all of the main rooms are heated. So there's a panel on the wall, and you can adjust the heat. So that is great, especially in the wintertime. All the doors were closing properly. There was a couple things, a little bit discolored paper, wallpaper up on the second floor, but overall it's pretty immaculate, as you'll see. This is the tatami room. It has this kotatsu built in, which you sit down, put your feet under there, and it heats up. So a nice place to have a morning cup of coffee or tea with a nice view outside. Lots of storage as always. That is an air conditioning unit up top there as well. And they all had these security gates that were electric, just a push of a button, and they roll up and down. So very nice and very convenient. So this is the one Japanese style room in the home. Some of the quote newer homes are going to be more modern like this, Western, but they always do have a Japanese tatami room, kind of keep the tradition and culture, make it feel like you're still in Japan. So here's the living room, very spacious, aircon units up top. It also had a ventilation system, so that square in the middle of the room is a vent that will suck air up out through the roof. The floors here were heated. There was actually two different sections that you can control. Those panels on the wall that you see across the room. Here is one of the panels and the ventilation button there, and this is an intercom with a camera that goes down to the first floor. There's also an intercom up on the second floor as well. Here's the kitchen. It does feel a little bit dated, but for the condition it's in, it feels great. I don't think you need to do really any renovations. Kitchen area is a little bit small, but new. There's a water filter built into the sink, dishwasher. This is a garbage disposal that goes to the outside, I guess, if you want to get rid of some of the stuff that might stink in the house. Place for your refrigerator, and a look down back to the living room. Here's a hallway. To the left is a hallway closet. I did look underneath. I forgot to get videos of it, but the foundation looked fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about with this home whatsoever. Looks like it's a very nice build, very solid, ready to go. Here is the S, I guess, which would be the storage unit at 5 LDKS. And this is that storage unit between the hallway and the living room. You can see across the hallway is the bathroom with the tub. There are 2 toilets, one on the first floor and the second floor. No damage. Looks like the home's previous owner kept care of this home very well. All the doors are shutting properly. Doesn't seem to be any lean to the home. Automatic fill and reheat button. There you can see above the tub on the right hand side. And this is the place for your washing machine and a sink to rinse stuff out. This actually had for the washing machine a hot water and cold water connection. I've never seen that before. It's usually just cold water here in Japan. So if you buy a washing machine that can handle both hot and cold water, it is ready to go for that. Here's the toilet down the hallway a little bit, separated from the bathroom. Little sink in there. Here's a Western style room on the first floor. There was an emergency button by the door, which I've never seen before. I guess maybe, grandma might have been living in here, grandma and grandpa. So that emergency button's there. That is the aircon you see up on the ceiling, so they're built in. It's a little bit better version of the ones that you see just kind of sticking out of the walls. And all of them were like that in this home. Here's the stairs, a couple places to showcase some of your favorite art. And there are 2 rooms up here, maybe 3, but 2 are pretty much connected to each other. So start off by going to the left and place for storage, put a cabinet or something there, but plenty of room there. All the doorways were quite tall, well over 2 meters. There's a little bit of discoloration there, so I'm not sure what was going on. Again, not a big deal, especially for a used home. But overall, all the wallpaper looked fine. This would be the master bedroom, I guess. Lots of closet space and quite a big room, especially for Japan standards. You can see the aircon up in the ceiling there. So you could do some additions and modernize it a bit, but again, it's fine just the way it is. Your view out from the master bedroom. To be completely honest, at this price, if this was in Nagoya, I would buy it today because it is a fantastic home for this price. I guess it's just this price because it's outside of Kobe a bit, not really city center, and probably a bit much for the average buyer. It is a lot of room. You can see this is kind of 2 rooms here connected into one. But yeah, it's very spacious, lots of room, could hold a large family. So for a second holiday home, it might be a little bit much. And one thing I would be concerned about is just the utilities, right? There's lots of air cons, heated floors, lights, stuff like that. Overall, utilities comparatively to, Europe or America, they are quite cheap. So not a huge issue, but would be an extra overhead for all the electricity and gas it would use. Plenty of storage. And this wraps all the way around, so it has 2 doors into the same area. And here is the second toilet, and there's a sink outside here. washlet. Might upgrade the toilet, but looks fine and just gonna function the way it is. And here is the last room on the second floor. So lots of space, lots of potential. If you've got a larger family, this might even be a home, you buy and maybe want to rent long term. We don't really work with a lot of investors per se, especially short term Airbnb. That's if you're interested in Airbnb, you've probably done your own research and know that it's a little bit more hassle than it's probably worth. But for a long term, this might be a good investment property. But an excellent place for home away from home, especially if you have a larger family. There's the bin for that trash chute that was in the kitchen. Walked around, looked at the foundation. Everything looked fine. I didn't see any water damage at all, so I don't think there's anything to worry about this home. I would still recommend getting an inspection just to cover all the bases. But overall, just a beautiful home, ready to live in. So that is the tour of this 22.8 million home here in Nishinomiya in Hyogo Prefecture. And if you ever wonder what the inside of a Japanese grocery store looks like, there you go. And a cookie, which evidently is a croissant and cookie. It was delicious. Thank you guys always for watching. Really appreciate it. Reach out if you have any questions, interested in pursuing a purchase of your own. You can contact me on WhatsApp or email. Thank you very much and have a great day.